Ma'am, in nಡುವೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ corporate ಅಂತ everyone is involved in a corporate world. So corporate ಪರಿಸರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? So could you please tell us what a corporate world is all about?
Okay, corporate environment is all about your right behavior. The way you behave in your workplace matters a lot, because now you are not a student anymore, you are into corporate. So the way you behave with your colleagues, all these things defines your growth in your corporate environment. And say for example, in college or in school you have students of your similar age group, so you have a slang with which you will talk to them, but you cannot use it when you go to corporate because you have different cadres, right? So there are different levels, so you cannot talk at the same way what you spoke when you were at college. So you need to modify your language pattern, you need to modify the way you carry yourself, because in school, in college you could do what you wanted, but you cannot do that in your office. You need to show that you are a professional. What I mean is how you can show that, because that's what we call it as corporate etiquettes, right? So that is very, very important for you to suit in a corporate very well and to get adjusted to corporate environment. And certain phrases what they use, they over a period of time they develop certain phrases in corporates, which is very important for you as a newcomer to understand those phrases, what they mean. So it will help you to relate to them. When they speak to you, it will help you to relate to them.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ನೀವು ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್ ಎಟಿಕ್ವೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಫೋನ್, ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಫೋನಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಫೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೈಲೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡದೇ ಇರೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಚೂವಿಂಗ್ ಗಮ್ ತಿನ್ನೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ದ ವೇ ವಿ ಡ್ರೆಸ್, ಶಾಬಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಎಕ್ಸಸ್ ಜ್ಯುವೆಲ್ರಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಅಪ್ರೋಪ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೀಚಿಂಗ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆನ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಪಂಕ್ಚುಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್ ಎಟಿಕ್ವೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್ ಎಟಿಕ್ವೆಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದು, ಯಾವ ಥರ? ಸೊ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ?
When I say etiquette, one word what etiquette means is socially acceptable behavior. That is what etiquette is. So actually how etiquette will help you, it is not only in corporate, it helps you everywhere. I have just put it here in the form of a slide. It differentiates you from others in a competitive job market, because when you go for an interview there is an etiquette which you need to follow. So the kind of lot of times, though you may have knowledge and skills, if you are not having a right etiquette, right, you will not be selected. So your etiquette gives you a competitive edge, whether it's an interview or whether it is growth in your career. And apart from it, when you have to deal with lot of people, the moment you know what is etiquette and how to behave, right, in a socially acceptable way, so what will happen is you will feel confident, because as an employee in a corporate you need to deal with lot of people, lot of cultures, a variety of settings. So when you actually do that, this etiquette will help you there, right? And apart from it, whenever you follow a certain etiquette, certain rules, it will honor your commitment to your excellence. That means what? You want to grow, right? So it shows that you are professional, you want to grow. It shows your commitment towards growth, your commitment towards excellence to your colleagues. And apart from it, once you follow certain etiquettes, it modifies your distracting behaviors. For example, what I mean by distracting behavior is talking aloud. Then what happens? When you talk aloud, you think, okay, I'm just talking a little aloud, so what? But then there are a lot of people who are working around, right? So they will get distracted. So once you learn these etiquettes, it will help you from, it helps you to modify your behaviors accordingly. Apart from it, understand a very important thing. Once you enter a corporate, or once you enter into a room where you are interviewed, the first thing is this: your first impression actually tells a lot about you, whether you like it or not. It may not be the real judgment of yourself, but what happens, unfortunately, it just takes a few seconds for a person to judge you. and it happens very subconsciously, right? And you would have heard about this, first impression is the best impression. So whether you like it or not, within few seconds they see you, they form an opinion about you. It is very interesting to see, what kind of opinion they form about you. They judge your professionalism, right? Which means there your etiquettes form a lot of importance, because the way you carry yourself, right? So your professionalism, your level of sophistication, especially the way you dress, that tells a lot about your level of sophistication. Unfortunately, the first impression, they form judgment about your intelligence, your credibility. So many things they judge within few minutes, right? So that first impression you create has a lot of impact on how they handle you from then on. So to create that first impression, learning a lot about etiquettes will help you a lot. So let's go now and see what kind of behaviors you should adopt, So when we say etiquette basics, for example, when you meet a person for the first time, you need to give a firm handshake. That speaks a lot about you. So a lot of times what happens, people give, they hold the hand very loosely, or certain times, they just touch your hand and they leave it, or certain times they press your hand so tight that it starts paining. So it has to be firm, which shows that you are a confident person. That speaks your confidence. And apart from it, maintain a good eye contact, because you would have heard this, when you speak truth, right, you look into their eyes. So a lot of times if somebody thinks that they are lying, they will tell you, look into my eyes and tell me the truth. I'm sure you would have heard this before, which means when you look into your eyes, somebody's eyes, and speak, it shows that you are actually confident about what you're saying. You are speaking the truth. And apart from it, whenever somebody is introducing you, if you're sitting down and you're working and somebody comes and introduces somebody else, this is a new employee, so immediately you need to stand up and then give a handshake. So, and apart from it, your non-verbal communication. When I say non-verbal communication, we have spoken about this a lot before. So your body language speaks a lot, your posture speaks a lot. So these kind of things are the certain behaviors you need to adopt, which are called etiquette basics.